Hi, my name's David. In this video, we're going to look at the 4-word answers task in the listening paper for the certacles B2 exam. Answers with more than 4 words will be considered to be wrong. And remember, contractions are regarded as 2 words. So you'll have to answer the questions or complete the sentences with the missing information according to the recording. You have to use no more than 4 words. Read all the items in the task. This will give you an idea of the content. And you can do this in the time you have before the listening starts. Maybe try to guess the answer from the stem or from the question. Okay, you can never really know the answer, but if you try to guess, you can get an idea of what they're looking for. Are they asking for a year, a day, an adjective, a description? So read the instructions carefully, read all the items in the task, think about the type of information that's missing, verbs, nouns, names. If you try to guess the answer, this will help you focus. This is an example of a 4-word answer listening task. So you'll hear a talk about avoiding problems at work. Answer the questions, 30 to 38, in a maximum of 4 words, as we've said. You don't have to use 4 words, a maximum of 4. Answers with more than 4 words will not be accepted, as they tell you there. Okay? First one, 0, has been done as an example, as usual. And write your answers on the answer sheet provided. Got 0, the example, the atmosphere at work can be negatively affected if you always work and you've got with the same people. They also accept colleagues. Obviously, in this type of task, there could be more than one answer, and they will accept certain answers as long as they are correct according to the listening and the question. Here we've underlined some of the key words which you might want to prepare. So you'll hear a talk about avoiding problems at work. That's the key thing. 4 words, that's key as well. Okay, in some certacles exams, it might not be 4 words, it might be 5 words. Make sure, it's usually 4, but make sure you look at that and underline it. The atmosphere at work can be negatively affected if you always work. Okay, so we know negatively affected and connected with work. And in the question we're going to try, the way we behave with colleagues that's the important thing. We're looking at somebody talking about the way we behave with our colleagues. Write your answer the first time you listen. Okay. Check your answers the second time you listen and make any changes if necessary. And make sure all the answers are logical with the questions. Okay, in this test, we're not testing grammatical accuracy and spelling. So don't worry about that, but show you have understood the idea. One thing is a spelling mistake, and a completely different thing is you are making the word up, just something you've heard, using a word that doesn't exist. Okay, this won't be accepted. But if there's a slight spelling mistake or grammatical mistake, okay, you just need to show that you've understood the answer. Okay, well, let's listen to the first bit of the recording of this task and try to guess the answer while listening to the recording and make some notes. Okay? Remember, several answers can be accepted. The important thing is to show you've understood the idea. Let's have a listen.
We all know the feeling. Our patience is nearly ending and we're about ready to throw our fist through a wall, or we're on the verge of tears. The steam is pouring out of our ears. When we work with the same people day in and day out, chances are we will eventually encounter a situation that can be very explosive. When we find ourselves in a volatile situation fueled by anger, frustration, or any other highly unstable emotion, we need to be very careful about our attitudes, since they can damage our career and our professional networking.
Okay, let's hear it a second time.
We all know the feeling. Our patience is nearly ending and we're about ready to throw our fist through a wall, or we're on the verge of tears. The steam is pouring out of our ears. When we work with the same people day in and day out, chances are we will eventually encounter a situation that can be very explosive. When we find ourselves in a volatile situation fueled by anger, frustration, or any other highly unstable emotion, we need to be very careful about our attitudes, since they can damage our career and our professional networking.
So, what are the answers? As I said before, several answers can be accepted. The important thing is you show you've understood the idea. For example, in 0, we could complete the sentence with the same people and colleagues, or with the same people or with the same colleagues. Both of those would be accepted. What about the other answer? What did you put? Well, in the recording we hear we need to be very careful with our attitudes, since they can damage our career or our professional network. Or we could even use job opportunities to show we have understood the idea.
We all know the feeling. Our patience is nearly ending and we're about ready to throw our fist through a wall, or we're on the verge of tears. The steam is pouring out of our ears. When we work with the same people day in and day out, chances are we will eventually encounter a situation that can be very explosive. When we find ourselves in a volatile situation fueled by anger, frustration, or any other highly unstable emotion, we need to be very careful about our attitudes, since they can damage our career and our professional networking.
So there we could have damage our career, damage our job opportunities, damage our professional network. All of those would be acceptable. Okay, so what do we need to remember in this task? It's important to read the questions before you listen to the recording. Not only reading the questions, but trying to guess the answer or think of the type of information you might need to answer it. You're going to listen to each recording twice. Questions are always in order in this type of task, so you won't have to jump back or jump forward. Don't let a question you missed ruin your performance on the whole task. Just move on. If you get one question wrong, it's much better to just go along with it. The recording will go on and you need to answer while you're listening. At the end of the whole test, remember to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Remember, you need to do this, and you have 5 minutes to do it at the end of the test. Okay, well, that's all about the 4-word answers task. Thank you very much, and I hope you found it useful. Okay.